I know, we've all been waiting. We've been anticipating Eminence in the Shadow. Great anime series. I love it. I've really enjoyed it. And of course, we all remember this wonderful scene. Yes, we all love that scene. And we've been waiting for the series to come back. We've been waiting to get the latest update. And now we have it. There is the Eminence in the Shadow Lost Echoes. It's the official movie. The trailer came out. The trailer came out about 11 days ago. I'm a little bit behind the time, but I had my birthday. I've been a little bit held back, but I wanted to talk about it. So this is the trailer, and tell me, let's talk about what we think about this trailer. Now, I don't know if the music's going to get a copyright on it, but kind of interesting. So we have broken buildings that don't look anything like what we saw from the main series. That was more medieval, well, the end of the medieval age, the beginning of the industrial age. And now we've got modernish buildings. I mean, they're all in decay, but modernish buildings. That's a bit different. I mean, did you see that building right behind Sid? Look at that background. That's modern Japan in terms of the architecture. Okay, that's interesting. I have no idea what these little white whale fish things are, but okay. That's modern. That's very modern. I mean, we've got someone in a lab coat, someone that's another girl, and teacup, computer screens, a mouse. That's modern. Very modern. Okay. That's modern. That's very modern. But this looks like Alpha and the girls. These are the shadows. But that architecture, that building, could be one of their department stores, but it doesn't quite fit. Okay, that was cool. I like that. That's a great image right there. That is interesting. Kind of reminds me of Goblin Slayer when he's in full goblin slaying mode. But kind of cool. A little bit large, but makes me think that there's only one eye. But that's kind of cool. But again, look at the background. That's a parking lot. This is a parking complex. That's not the normal Eminence in the Shadow background. Now, does she seem familiar to you? Because if you remember season 1, episode 1, that face is very familiar. I think, as I remember, I haven't looked at season 1 in a while, but that's who I think that's from season 1, episode 1. And that is Sid from season 1, episode 1. Isn't it? That's not the Eminence in the Shadow. That's not Sid in his isekai reborn life. That's the original Sid, who was a badass, but not to the power of the shadow, but still a badass. It is. That's Sid, the original Sid. And she was his classmate. And that looks like their school, although heavily damaged. So you got to wonder what's going on here. And Sid, for his part, he looks kind of frail. I mean, look at those arms. I mean, wow. Could be the artwork, but wow, they're giving him some. See, Sid was working out. He was in great shape. That boy could take people down. This guy looks kind of emaciated, like massively emaciated. But Sid was hit by Truck Kun. So, what's going on with that? I mean, did Sid go into a coma? Did he not die? Did he imagine the Eminence in the shadow while he was in a coma? And that he just dreamed up the other world? That he didn't actually get isekai'd? Is that what they're trying to say? Or is it something a bit different? Okay. Now we've got someone with white hair, blue eyes, and they have the flame, the color of that flame. Well, isn't that the magic that Sid uses all the time? The same purple aura kind of magical power that he emanates more than anyone else? That looks like Sid's magic by someone who isn't Sid. Not the right hair color, not the right hairstyle. That's a new character. Coming in 2027. Now, I have no idea what the hell they're saying. That's Japanese. I don't understand Japanese. I don't care. I watch a lot of the anime with subtitles on. So that's not a problem for me. I like, you can get a lot from just the emotion and the visuals that you're saying, and you can piece together some of the things they say or the emotion they have, especially in a trailer. Is there anything else left in this? Okay, they're trying to get us to buy manga. Not a big deal. Okay. So that's it. It's about a minute and 12 seconds. And I found it interesting. Now, so we have a return to, or it seems to be, a return to the original Sid, the original main character, the main female protagonist, and the original world that Sid came from. Now, I have read and seen that the manga that this is based on does, it has some space-time transfers, other worlds. So there's something to say about that. And I think that's the route that the movie's going down, trying to maybe go into other worlds, and Sid is conscious in both. He's alive in both. Maybe. I don't want to give spoilers here. I'm trying not to. But it seems to be doing what the manga did, very closely to what the manga did. The question is, how? How did this happen, and who does it happen to? Because we have an impression here that it's not whatever happened didn't just happen to Sid, because it looks like, if I'm not wrong, isn't this Alpha? Can I get her face? Come on, show me her face. There. Doesn't that look like Alpha? But Alpha in the modern world. Now, it could be my memory. It might be Delta. That's not Delta. Epsilon? Could it be Epsilon? I think it's Alpha. But that's the modern world. And yet, that's also her slime suit, which is magical, which would mean magic is in the modern Japanese world, Sid's home. And there is no magic there. I mean, that's the whole reason why he left, right? That's why he said he had to have a meeting with Truck-kun so he could get to a world where he could go atomic, so that he could be undefeatable. It's interesting. It's very interesting, and, we do get the image of all of the shadows here, and I think it's interesting, especially little Delta there. She's all bored with this. So this looks like a celebration over at Mitsugi, their department store, and we've got an interesting statue back here. It doesn't show it very clearly, but if you're looking at what we see here, this is all of the shadows. This is all of Sid's girls. It's a statue dedicated to them, which is an odd thing because Eminence in the Shadow, no one knows who they are per se. The general public don't know. And so having this statue, this dedication to each of them showing their actual faces, what the hell is going on here? I mean, it's a celebration of some sort, even though they are armed, but what's happening there? Is this like a birthday party? Did they win and they're celebrating? What's happening in that? Now, for all the interesting questions this is bringing up, like who is this and why she married, what girl is this talking to, I think this is our main first episode protagonist talking to maybe her mom. We don't really get, I think that's the mom of the first protagonist here. So this is a reverse shot. What we're seeing is a reverse shot. She's talking to her mom, who's a scientist of some sort, I'm guessing here. And they're talking about something, which probably has to do with Sid, magic, something along those lines. But it's not very clear at all. Where's that? I want that image. Where is it? There it is. It's not clear, but it does look like magic in the world of the first season. Now, those are my interesting thoughts about it and how it catches my attention. And seeing this, which reminds me of the slime magic creation that Sid uses for his suit and his sword, and the shadows use for their outfits and their weapons. It kind of reminds me of that. And this very much is a city in ruins. Sid as the shadow in his full regalia, and it looks like there's a lot of decay. You got what looks like some kind of plant growth in a decayed building. It looks like this is that parking lot we were looking at, and we can see this is exposed to the air, so it looks like grass is growing and that it's gone into disrepair just like all the other buildings, and so grass is growing up there. Could just be paint. Could be. So I'm looking at this and I got to say to myself, does this look interesting? Kinda. It's not the most exciting teaser, to be fair. I love Eminence in the Shadow. I think it's a great storyline. I think it's good art. It's got some fan service, which is never a bad thing. But it's got a good, solid storyline. And Sid is an interesting, intriguing character. Although a little too clueless sometimes, when he obviously shouldn't be. But it works for the story that they have. But I'm not sure that this doesn't feel as impactful or as interesting as when we saw Sid go atomic. When Sid was going atomic, that blew everything out. It was just awesome. The first time that you saw, and you hear him just go, I am atomic. Boom. You loved that. Everyone loved that. And you just felt it. And the series got a big boost amongst a lot of average people, a lot of new normies. Like I say, I'm kind of a normie, kind of not. Got a lot of boost off of just that one line, and people started paying attention. I was paying attention to it beforehand, but this doesn't give me that same feeling. Even in the action scenes, I'm not sitting there going, gee, I'm really compelled here. I mean, the artwork looks pretty good. Obviously, there's the CGI in the background, the cell shading. It could be better. The action scenes were okay. Obviously, this is the CGI in the background, so they're saving a few bucks on that. Fair enough. I don't know. It's not as impactful. Or maybe it's me. Is it just me? Maybe because I saw season 1, season 2. I was drawn in. I loved watching Sid's interactions. Maybe my expectations are too high. Maybe. Or maybe in this trailer, which is teaser trailer 2, and it came out 11 days ago, maybe they're holding back. Or maybe I didn't see it in the first trailer. Maybe there's another trailer coming out that'll give us more information. We know it's coming out in 2027, so there's plenty of time to see more, to find out more. And I would expect the third trailer, if it's coming out in 2027, I'm imagining that'll be the winter of 2027, maybe the spring, which means we get another trailer in September, maybe October. We'll get the third trailer, which will lead in. Okay, so maybe there's something I'm missing. How did you feel? Did it give you the excitement like when you heard Sid for the first time go full atomic? Did this make you say, I've got to see the movie? Because we have season 3 is coming out shortly too. So I imagine they're going to do the movie after season 3, because season 3 would explain perhaps why Sid is back in Japan. Or are they going to play them both at the same time? That might have been explained in the Japanese text that I can't read that was in this trailer. So maybe explain there. If you guys know how to read Japanese, tell me what the text said. But I don't know. I'm going to watch it because I love Eminence in the Shadow. So I'm going to see it. And I want to see season 3. I'm looking forward to that. But it's not quite where we were. It's not quite as vivid, visceral. That's the word, visceral, as I remember it being. But again, that could be me. You guys tell me what you think in the comments. Did you enjoy this trailer? Did this make you excited? What do you think about season 3? And if you know the manga, don't spoil it for everyone. But tell me, is this living up to your expectations if you've read the manga? If you haven't read the manga and you're just following the anime, how does this make you feel? Let me know. I look forward to hearing your comments, and we'll talk about more trailers really soon.